didn't say anything. So I just created this whole new listing from scratch. And then I guess she had set hers, but I have to approve it. So I don't know how. I guess I went in and because I went back in there to look at it because I tried to pull it up on my phone and it was like missing information. And I was like, what is this? So I went in and because it looked exactly the same, I guess I edited Jill's and also published Jill's. Ugh.
Things happen. It's okay though. All right. Stream accountability. I didn't hit my 5,000 yesterday. I hit 4,500. And that was a stretch because I thought I walked more yesterday than I've walked other days. It's
Wasn't it? Weren't you supposed? Was 5,000 your goal? I thought it was lower than that, and you just happened to be hitting 5,000.
no, 4,000 is the goal, but consistently close to 5,000 is ideal. I'm trying to get the gym. He's doing 6,000.
Not yesterday.
Well, I've got double, not double, but I've got a bunch added to mine today to keep my numbers right for the whole time
Okay. Nice.
because I had showings yesterday, which is awesome. But it also was way longer than I thought.
Yeah, we have had a listing appointment last night and then a showing last night. Got home at like 7:45, ate dinner, and I looked at my watch and looked at my steps. I'm all 3,600. What the heck? So Fat Moose and I went walking for a little bit last night. It was
You want
dark.
to hear something funny about walking dogs and hitting goals? My neighbor, who's also holding me accountable, because he'll hit me up like after the 11 o'clock because he works from home also, and he's like, "How was lead gen?" But or lead follow up. But so he was messaging me last night because I got home same thing like a little after 8, and then he was like, "Are you still walking your dogs tonight?" And I said, "Well, I have to because it's on my thing to walk them twice a day." And he said, um, okay, just let me know. So then when he messaged me again at like 11 o'clock at night and he was like, are you not walking your dogs? And I said, dude, I hate to say this, but I just can't. Like, I'm trying to get this listing done. I've got to send a couple more emails. And he goes, well, does it still count if I walk your dogs? And I was like, are you serious? I was like, yeah, I mean, technically it's just walk my dogs twice a day. Not for me, for them. And he was like, I'll be over in a minute. So the dude literally came over and walked my dogs at like 11:30 last night so that I could hit my walk my dogs twice a day goal.
I love it. It's leverage right there. So, how about the rest of yous?
So it's so funny. I didn't turn my watch on this morning, so I've been up since 5 o'clock this morning, not counting steps.
Look at
Uh,
you, look at you wasting 3 hours of the day.
right now, well, I didn't waste it. I was doing the stuff I normally do in the morning, but um, I did look at my average daily because yesterday sucked. So I'm like, well, how's it look on the 7 day average? 5,500 on the 7 day average. I'm like, oh, that's not terrible.
So I looked at my 7 day average has gone up. We started this on Monday. My average Monday was 3790. And right now my average is 4882.
It's
So I've
awesome.
got 1,000 steps over average. And I did the math. So because I like charts and graphs and data and stuff because for me it's nice to look at it. 2024, the average steps were 4768. And I'm behind that this year at 3933. So based on that, with the help of AI and some interesting copy paste, tell me the information quote, it told me I need to step 6,000 plus steps a day for the next 80 days to catch up to last year's average.
Damn.
It seems like a lot. It's a lot. It really is. But I don't remember walking a ton last year that made it so much more. So it's interesting how easily we get sedimentary, like how easy it is for us to change habits so slowly, so minutely that over time it becomes this. But 6,000 steps in a day is a lot when you're walking 3,000 steps in a day. But 6,000 steps in a day isn't a lot when you want to walk 10,000 steps in a day. So, Rachel, Gracie, Serena, Jessica, what are your results so far this week?
I don't know how to track mine, but I read. I've been reading every night.
Awesome.
So far I've been reading. Even though I read maybe just 2 pages last night, I still read. So I'm good.
Good.
I've been walking every day, almost. I missed my first and
Okay.
second, but then I doubled up on my third and fourth and fifth.
Okay.
I was there for half of the Zoom when you guys discussed this. I'm assuming you guys set goals. My sister was blowing up my phone saying that I needed to call her right then and there, and it's an emergency. And it was literally her complaining about her boyfriend. So I missed the Zoom for that.
It's all right. It's on the Facebook, on the YouTube live. If you go check out Monday's recording, we just talked about the 66-day challenge and picking one thing that you can do for 66 days that would improve upon one element of your life. The 7 circles of a balanced life is your goal tracker, if you will, for what you're trying to do. So spiritual life, personal or physical health, personal life, relationships that are key, job performance, business performance, and financial stuff.
Okay.
So pick something from one of those circles and say, okay, this is one thing I can do every single day. It's a small thing. Like for me, it's one thing. It's walking. It's big, but it's one thing. It's small. It's easy to measure. It's not very complex. But for
Okay.
66 days. So
Yeah, I did that in the beginning of the year, and I've actually been pretty consistent. But for one of them, was to journal every morning, and so I've been consistent in that, writing 3 things down that I'm grateful for, 3 things that I want to happen today, and then an affirmation for the day.
I love it.
And then at the end of the day, reflecting 3 good things that happened, and then what I learned from that day.
Love that. So in the chat, you'll see I actually put a 66-day tracker that you can use, print it out, use it. It's impactful there. So I came across the quote this morning I really liked, and it's kind of absurd, but you think about it. If you must break the law, do it to seize power. In all other cases, observe it. Julius Caesar said this. It's kind of a little spicy of a message, but if you must break the law, do it to seize power. In all other cases, observe it. If you're going to do something, go all in. If you're going to do anything, go all in. Don't half send your ambitions. Don't half step into the truths that you want to live. I got home last night, 7:45. It was a 12-hour day for me. That's 3 12-hour days back to back to back. Just long days so far. I haven't eaten hot dinner in 3 days. It's okay. My wife's mad at me. She hates to microwave my food because she's like, I made this for you. You just weren't here. You're right. I was working. But I got home and my first thought was, you know what? I've had a long day. It'll be okay if I don't do my steps today. And I sat down and I ate dinner. And after dinner, I was like, no, it's not okay. I made a commitment to myself. I made a commitment to you folks. I made a commitment to people around me that I was going to do this. So I literally stood up, told my fat Labrador and said, come on, Moose, let's go for a walk. We have a couple acres and he free roams and runs around. So for a walk for him is very strange. He's like, what the heck's a walk? He's like, I'm not allowed to leave the yard. Where are we going? So we did. We just walked down the street. But I could tell you it was empowering to myself, and I felt this extra boost of energy to go, even though it was 8 o'clock at night, to go take a few steps, to push myself out of a comfort zone. Because you know what? I'm not doing this for anyone else as much as I'm doing it for myself. And I feel good when I hit a goal. I feel real good when I achieve a goal. So if you're going to do anything, go all in. Because I'm doing this to make myself healthier. I'm doing this to make myself stronger. I'm doing this to give myself more energy because I am seizing power. I'm breaking the law of what I do every day. Hell, I haven't sat on my couch in 3 days. Which is
I don't
cool.
even know if I own a couch anymore.
It's somewhere in your house. I've seen it in the camera.
It's probably covered in dog hair.
It's a dog couch. It's
Yeah.
no longer people friendly. So I just thought about that today. So if you must break the law, do it to seize power. And all of the cases, observe it. So let's do something crazy. Let's go all in. Push yourself. For me, the next 2 days are going to be the toughest, Saturday and Sunday, because Saturday and Sunday, I tend not to leave the house. And it's very hard to get 6,000 steps in if you don't leave the house. So I'm going to have to find something to do Saturday and Sunday to push myself to go do something. So I know that we talk a lot about the goals, the ambitions, and the things that you're striving for every single day. And I hope it's not lost on you why we speak about things in constant repetition. Does anyone know?
Beat it in your thick head.
The kind of one of the things, but
I
what
was
we
gonna say to anchor it.
what we repeatedly do, we become. So I want all of you to think about this. Like, let's go back to before you knew this call existed, this environment existed for you. Look at the people around you that were just kind of living life, kind of floating by, sailing on the wind, if you will, coasting through the current. Now filter it through all the things that you know. Do you feel bad for that person that's just kind of coasting? Do you feel bad for that person that's just kind of playing the hands that cards or playing the cards that they were dealt by love, by life, by luck? Instead of, you know what? I'm going to do something different. I'm going to push myself. I'm going to set a goal. I'm going to set an intention, and I'm going to do the actions to get there. I talk to people all the time from my past, from school, from college, from partying days, and it's like nothing's changed. And I want to look at them, I want to shake them, and I would say, you know what? If you spend 5 minutes every day doing something to improve your life, in 5 years from now, you'll be completely different. But in the 10 years that I've known you, you've spent 5 minutes every day bitching and complaining about your life. And it's gotten worse. So every day I want to talk about goals and ambitions and drive and what makes wins and the happiness and the positivity, because those moments matter the most. Because one day you're on this call and you're listening, and one day you're not. One day you're on this call engaged, and one day you're not. And one day you're on this call and you're just on fire and you've got things to talk about, so you're 100%, and one day you're not. But if we do it frequently enough, it catches you. Shotguns are so effective because they put little power pellets in a wide spread. And it's not because it's a bunch of big things that hit you, it's a bunch of small things that hit you. So, even the days where we're not together, look at those things. What am I doing to better my life? What am I doing to better my existence? What am I doing to put the awesomeness behind me? Because it's not so much what we leave engraved in stone behind us that matters as much as it is what is woven into the lives of people we touch. It's the memories, it's the thoughts, it's the words, it's the way we make people feel that anchors our legacies. I want people to go out thinking, you know what? I'm glad I knew him. That was a pretty good dude. If it's in real estate, if it's in architecture, if it's in landscaping, whatever it is, if you're going to break the law, do it to seize power. Go against the norms, be crazy. Because the norms out there, 95% of people, probably more than that, don't have a goal. That's their law. Break the law. Go do something crazy. I can tell you a whole lot of people don't show up for any kind of daily improvement, either with themselves or in a group accountability session. So break the law. Do it for power. If we were to collectively count every single agent in your market centers, in your offices, in your brokerages, in your areas, do you guys think you would represent less than 1% of the total agent mass? And yet you show up and you do something. It's weird how, like Jim said yesterday, it's weird how people that get together and collaborate and talk about business and talk about success all of a sudden start finding it. I saw an Instagram post yesterday of a guy that used to be on this call. He was on this call for a couple months and he stopped showing up for a while, a long while. And his post was him doing a completely different career. And it made my heart hurt because I knew that he was so excited about this new change and this new opportunity. And when he showed up, he was getting traction. He was doing open houses. He was finding business. He had a buyer he was looking for. He had a listing that he was working on. And then we stopped seeing him. Stopped seeing him for almost 9 months. His market center changed their timing or whatever they had, and now he's out of the business.
Someone in our office, Jim?
No, a friend of mine from a Denver office. But Christina, there's people in our office all the time that stop showing up, and then all of a sudden they're serving pancakes at McDonald's again.
We had a few Denver people in here at one point. Yeah.
Their office set a different mandate and changed schedules and moved things around, and then honestly, 80% of those people are no longer in the business. It's interesting to me because it doesn't matter how slowly you go. It doesn't matter how long it takes you to get to your goal. As long as you don't stop. Yeah, I talk about 5,000 steps like it's some type of Herculean effort on my part. I bet Gracie's got 5,000 steps in before 9 a.m. But that's the thing is it doesn't matter. I used to power lift. I was a heavy lifter. And it took me 20 years to get to the certain levels that I was at. And it wasn't a fast thing, but I can tell you it decays a lot faster. It doesn't matter how long it took you to get there as long as you didn't stop. So spend some time in introspection every day. Just push yourself forward. If you're failing or you feel like you're failing, find how is this a win? What have I learned? Man, that sucked. What did I learn? What am I not going to repeat? What lesson did life teach me in that moment? It's pretty cool stuff. So I brought in a lot of teachings from Aristotle, from Caesar, from Confucius this morning, talking about different things. It's part of my morning readings. But I wanted to share them with you because they all kind of land in the same as, I really like that. It's not what we leave engraved in monuments that matters, but what's woven into the lives of others. Success isn't just personal. It's not. When you succeed, who else benefits from it? Jessica, who else benefits from your success?
My family.
That's huge, right? It's kind of the reason you're doing this. Right? What if someone's watching you on social media, like a friend of yours or somebody who looks up to you and admires you, and they see you going from struggle to success? So many people don't think it's possible. Oh, they're just lucky. I wasn't born into the right family. I could never do that. But when they see someone they know do it, it becomes real. It's the 5-minute mile all over again.
My favorite is when people are like, must be nice.
It is.
I'm like, it is nice, and you should try working for it and get nice for yourself.
It is. I am the most arrogant, humble person you'll meet. I say that because I drive around in a big lifted diesel truck that has zero bearing on real estate. People are like, oh, that's a really nice truck. Thanks, man. I appreciate that.
Well, that's, people think that about me, Dan. Think I'm cocky.
Yeah, it must be nice. It is. But you also, how did James Maxwell said it? James Maxwell said this at the conference, and I loved it. If you guys didn't better up, you missed. Sorry, John Maxwell. I knew something. My brain wasn't clicking. John Maxwell said it at the conference at Better Up. If you missed it, you got to go next year. It was phenomenal. But John Maxwell says everybody wants to do what I'm doing. Everyone wants to be on stage and talk and share stories and get paid a lot of money to do so. But not everybody is willing to do what I did. And I wrote down in my notes, and I remember like saying to myself, I would absolutely do what you did and more. Because if I'm 80 years old, standing on stage in front of 1,000 people, sharing the things that I share with you guys every single morning, I think my life is okay.
Well, that's the thing. People think it's like this. I think people think it's hard, or it's like this big daunting, like to go from see where you're at to see where someone else might be. And it's like, and I think that just gives them a defeatist attitude. So then they just never start. And it's like you said, it's like just take the first step
Yeah,
and then take the second step and then take the third step.
that was Monday's whole premise was a lot of us don't do goals, so I just want you to start. And I'm glad we brought it full circle right now this Friday is because Monday that was the whole thing. Most people don't realize their goals because they never start.
That's why so many people get shackled by W-2 jobs.
Yeah.
It's they don't even I think they know their potential, but they'd rather trade their hours for dollars. And I can always make more money. I can't make more time, and this job allows me to leverage both of those.
I look at it as an opportunity, right? The jobs that I've had in my life have taught me who I've become. They've taught me to become a different version of what I could have been. But it also taught me what I don't want. I don't want to be chained to a desk. I don't want to be chained to TPS reports. If you guys know what movie it's from, bonus points.
Office Space.
Well, I wouldn't say I've been missing it, Bob.
Yeah, I love it. That is the way I look at some of the jobs I've had is I'll never go back to that because I'm glad I got to do it, but I'll never do it again.
Same.
And some people are terrified of that betting on yourself, which is what commission jobs are, and what independence is in entrepreneurship and owning a business and all these great things that we get to do every single day. It boils down to I'm betting on me.
Yep.
I know that if I'm in a fight, I'm walking away. I don't care how big, how strong, how skilled, or how many are in front of me. I know my reason to live outlasts all of that. So if I'm going to break the law, I'm going to do it to seize power. I'm going to do the unspeakable to make sure I'm successful because I'm betting on me. But not only that, my wife's betting on me, my kids are betting on me, my family's betting on me. Sometimes I'm the sure bet. Sometimes I'm the underdog. But when it comes push to shove, I'd rather be me than anyone else. I'd rather be responsible for every step I take than work underneath someone else's name. But that's just me. Not everyone's like me, and that's okay. But there are people out there that are stuck in the I'm okay being like average, like not even average, below average. My sister is arguably smarter than I am. We've talked about this. She's book smart to a 10th degree, like a 4.3 GPA. I was lucky to hit 3, and my kids are lucky to hit 2. But what she didn't have was that confidence in herself to bet on herself. I didn't have it at first, but I was presented the opportunity to think bigger. I was presented the opportunity to challenge myself and grow, like I do to you guys almost every day. Sometimes you feel like it's a little aggressive, like, oh, he's yelling at me. And sometimes it's an outright challenge. I challenge you to go do something that scares you. Go do something that makes you uncomfortable, that will lead you to where you want to go. Because someone did it to me. Go ahead,
I was
Chris.
just having this conversation with a friend of mine who's not in real estate. Actually, is a former client of mine. The dude's a former Navy SEAL too. So it's like, I kind of take it for granted that like he of all people will understand like discipline and pushing yourself and not giving yourself excuses. And I was saying something the other day to him, talking about something. And I said, well, that's my own fault. I was an idiot with that thing. Like, And he was like, dang, Chris, that's kind of harsh. And I said, what are you talking? No, what do you mean? Hard. What are you talking about? He's like, well, just give yourself a break, go a little easier. And I was like, bro, you of all people, I was like, you don't get to, it's not like I'm saying I hate myself. I'm just holding myself accountable. I'm calling it as it is. And if I can't do that for myself, I'm just living in a fantasy world and nothing's ever going to get better. So if I can't have the introspection to go, you're more capable than that. You're not that stupid. Stop making that mistake. Like, how am I ever going to get anywhere? But it was a kind of a disappointing experience to like learn this person that you expected to sort of be at that same level of understanding or accountability was not. And it was like, okay, lessons learned. You're not somebody that I can go to that is going to hold me savagely accountable. You're just not.
I think savage accountability. I love the way you put that in your video.
It's my theme.
Makes people uncomfortable.
Well, it's funny because a lot of people commented on it, Dan, and people sent me messages and they're like, dang, that's so intense, blah, blah, blah. And it's just like, yeah, cool. Are you joining me? Like, where are you at? And I did. I had people that I said, comment savage. And I have agents in other brokerages. Like here in Tucson, I'm having coffee with one of them this weekend. That's like, oh, I'm restarting my real estate career. I've been kind of having some setbacks, slow, whatever. And I was like, we should have coffee. And we're touching base every single day so far. And I'm like, cool. When they replied to me, I was like, tell me what your goals are and what are you going to do every single day to get that? And I had people like literally strangers, like some people that I've never even met in person, like send me that stuff. And so now I'm going back to them, a person they don't even know, going, this is what you told me. This is what you said. Where are you at?
The bold law, you can have results or what? You know the rest of it?
Excuses? I don't know.
It's reasons, but it's about the same thing. You can have results or you can have reasons. You can't have both. How many people want something more but will not let go of the excuses? And this is savage accountability at the very first ages. Like my son who just turned 8. You know, you guys have heard me talk about how I handle him. I'm not the loving, coddling, easy, like, oh, it's okay. No, I'm me to an 8-year-old. I've been me to a 3-year-old. This morning he didn't wake himself up again. That's 3 days this week he hasn't woken himself up by his own alarm. So he got in trouble. And then this morning he's like, Daddy, I tried to wake up, but I woke up at 5 o'clock and then I went back to sleep. And I was like, I don't want to hear your excuses, Stone. I don't want them. You didn't wake up. You didn't wake up on time and you didn't wake up yourself. Black and white. What are you going to do differently next week? Well, I tried to set Alexa, but it wasn't set. No, I don't want to hear your excuses. This is not a place for excuses, little man. What are you going to do differently? He's like, I'm going to make sure my alarm's set. Good. And then what? Well, then I'm going to get out of bed. Okay, good.
I love that. I think that's so like, I know some people think like, God, that's harsh or that's this or that. It's like me and my 2 brothers, we grew up and my mom never held us accountable. I didn't have to do chores. I have to do anything. And man, did that shoot me in the foot as an adult early on. I mean, and I see it in my brothers. They struggle to this day. They live where my mom lives because they get a bunch of help.
Well, I was just telling Seth about this on another call because I've been staying overnight for my nanny job for the past week.
Yeah.
And so when I stay overnight, these girls, I'm like, I don't know if it's San Diego or the new generation, but their mom has raised them growing up to where she wakes them up. And so they rely on me to wake them up. And I have to wake them up like 3 times in the morning. And I tell them, I'm like, girls, when I was younger, if my ass wasn't gotten ready, walked to school, by the time my parents even woke up, I would get in so much trouble. Like, nobody ever woke me up. Like, I had to get ready by myself, eat my cereal, walk to school. And if I, like, slept in, I would get in so much trouble. So I'm just like, I don't know. I feel like some kids don't have discipline nowadays.
Some
So I'm
adults
glad that
don't
you're
have,
doing that with your son.
Gracie, some adults don't have discipline.
I
Many
was gonna say, yeah.
So here's where I leave you at this weekend. I want you to think about this. If you've made yourself crow pie, you better eat it. If you put yourself in a position because you chose not to do the activities, then don't come bitching to me because you have to reap the consequence. There are consequences for every action, either positive or negative. Can you take positive interactions and make them negative? Absolutely. Just the same as you can do with the inverse. You can take a loss, a negative interaction, a negative thing, and make it a win. So this weekend, I want you to look for more wins. I want you to look for more opportunities. I want you to look for things that you can change the way you focus on. Change your perspective, change your visions. Until then, I'll see you guys on Monday. I'm excited to see the check-ins. Don't lose track of your 66 days. Just because we're not here doesn't mean it doesn't matter. If you want to text me or text Christina for your accountability, you're more than welcome to. Or go
Savage.
to her Instagram and find her video and comment Savage and be a part of her group.